Welcome students to Textiles with Mrs. B. Today we're making a toile out of polyester and we're going to be making some pants. And with those pants we're going to demonstrate all different types of seams, as well as we're going to show off our fancy sewing skills as well. So the equipment you'll need for this is an iron or ironing board. You'll need a sewing machine, a pair of scissors and some pins. In terms of resources for the project, you're going to need the pattern itself. You will need your fabric. So here we have 2 meters of polyester fabric. You're going to need the pattern pieces cut out. You'll need the instructions. You'll need a sewing kit, some scissors, some thread, perhaps an unpicker, and maybe even perhaps a pen here to put some markings. The 2 meters of polyester fabric is now ironed, and I'm going to place the pattern pieces on the fabric and start cutting it out. I'm starting to pin the pattern pieces to the fabric now, and I'm just putting them whichever way I can fit them, making sure I've got pieces on the fold that need to be on the fold, as well as right side up, and in this case right side down. Fabric pieces are cut out now, which is great. So my next step will be to do the Hong Kong seam, which I'm going to do probably on the inside leg of one of these pants. Sewing the pants now for the Hong Kong seam, 1.5 centimeters all the way down. I've got my 2 forward stitches and my 2 backward stitches. That'll do, Mum. I'm now preparing for the French seam, which is going to go on the inside leg. And this is a couture finish. It's encasing of the edge. So what I'm going to do first is trim with the scissors about 2-3 centimeters from this 1.5 hem here. Then I'm going to fold it over, sort of onto itself, I guess, and then sew tightly there on the other side. I'm now sewing the inside pocket at 1.5 2 stitches forward, 2 stitches back just to secure it. So here's my straight seam at 1.5. I'm going to leave the tacks in so I can show my students. Now I had trouble with the zigzag on my machine, so I haven't been able to zigzag this. So unfortunately it is fraying a little bit. But if you had a zigzag, you would zigzag here, or you would use an overlocker. I'm now going to start sewing the waistband. So I've matched it up here. I've got the side seams all lined up on both sides there, and then also lining up the middle of the back, and that's the right side of the pants, and the waistband is the wrong side, and then it will be folded over like that. Hemming stitch on the bottom of the pants. So I've got a really fine needle, and I'm just picking up a little bit on the main piece, then on the fold, probably about 1/2 centimetre, just a little bit there, and then it's like an invisible stitch, and then when you look over here you can't see anything. So that's white on white hemming stitch. So this is my welt seam sample. So with the welt seam, you start with a plain seam and then cut off really close to the edge of one of the sides, and then it's been folded over and ironed. So with the French seam you would cut both those parts off, but with the welt seam you're just cutting off one, and then I'm going to sew across here. So here's my finished toil. I've got the pleats at the front, pockets, darts at the back, and inside I've got the French seam. I've got a sample of the welt seam here. I didn't actually use that on the pants. I've got a French seam, a plain seam, and I've also got some hemming. So I did 2 types of hems. I've done one that I've hand stitched, and then I did another one on the machine.